Hello everybody, welcome to today's stream. My name is Umi Zipper and I will be continuing playing Beacon Pines today. Let's see where it continues on from. Well, now I gotta start the game. Here we go, chapter 6. I wonder if I could change my sweater. Oh, I guess I gotta go check the door though. Here we go, sorry about that. I have the sound on. Let's see who's at the door. Ah, my friends! Rolo, what on earth is that? Ridiculous thing on your head. Oh, this? It helps me think. You're gonna need a lot more of those. Joke all you want. We'll see who's laughing when I crack this case wide open. The coast is clear? Yep. Whatever she's been up to this week has been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
I worry, Gran. Where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Aha!
He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume anything that's dusty isn't what we're looking for. Or maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She's lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She keeps that fire going every day, Rollo. Crap, it may already be too late. Just think of the mounds of documents lost to ash. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right now. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want me to go? Yeah, a closet upstairs. So maybe it stands to reason we should check there first. No dice, it's locked. Well, well, well. Look who stands to reason now. Dot, dot, dot. And I have no idea where the key is. And if it is really important, then she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has berry bushes. She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought, I'm going to take this important thing and hug it in a bush? True. And who knows, maybe something out of the ordinary. Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. But it doesn't matter anyway. I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted and turned toward the kitchen.
Alright, Rolo. This is your time to shine. Ah, yes. You called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed.
Before he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rolo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick, and every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to sit on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah, I don't really know what we were expecting. Look, like, oh hey. Let me just see ink on this random teacup and...
As Beck pulled on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click.
Oh.
The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Interesting. Huh, secrets. Seems your gran has been doing some remodeling. Dude, only 2 types of people have secret layers. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So, which one do you think she is? We're about to find out. Okay, so more of the unhinged conspiracist vibe. Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. We need to look around before jumping to conclusions. Alright. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution, explosive. And jam jars? That's enough jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your gran making? Incendiary. She wouldn't have had me walk around town delivering bombs, right? Only one way to find out.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries.
He smacked his lips.
A hint of brown sugar. And ink. What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Aha!
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A grand jam jar? Says last night I used the disguise hairs provided to scout the location. The timing window should be possible. Operation Sparkplug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. Still more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let it slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here. Okay. Let's see.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What do we have here? Yeah, it's my dad's. Looks like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
How about you actually read some of them? One sec. Dense documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. It's best to see them straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of a preeminent scholar in dense documents and cheeseburgers. But all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Here we are. Follow-up examination of Terrence Wilbur. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. I'm not sure how to say that. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is some of the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Wilby just a few days ago. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? That's Mr. Nuncreek's name. Wait.
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
There's more scribbles in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Wilbur claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental. Lab results only raise more questions. Looks like he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something
Rollo
else.
scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease or whatever it is progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition follows close behind. Exasperated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Luca, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? Does he mean enough is enough? How did he take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit.
Luca slammed the drawer shut.
Alright, let's take a look at the bulletin.
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Well, she sure has kept herself busy. Is your gran a serial killer? 'Cause I'm starting to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. She's just tracking the movements of everyone in town. Out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nuncreek has a check mark. The clipboards are all inside a big circle. My mom's are both on here. Both are question marks. Guess Valentine has a question mark. Harris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good. Okay, so I want to check it here. Is there anything? What's this? Oh, punching bag. Okay. Wait, is there anything else over here? So I checked this, a bunch of jam. Let's check this now.
They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool, this looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't fault that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. It starts at the entrance of the town. And if we follow it,
Rollo carefully traced the path with his finger.
it leads right to...
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town Square? That's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Rollo, that doesn't look like treasure to me. The end of the path on the map has the same symbols as those explosives over there. So, it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer. Rollo, what's that thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Well, did you say Gulp. This feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. Uh-oh. Oh no. Someone's home. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was that? No, I heard it too. That was the door. Which means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps.
Oh man.
The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other.
I'm holding my breath too.
A muffled male voice broke the silence.
A muffled male voice. Oh.
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and the voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down there?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump.
You.
Thump.
Oh gosh. I'm not here to hurt anyone.
Thump.
I'm just here to help. Just
Thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly.
Oh no.
Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Well, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Mysterious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me. But there's only one way to find out. Holy crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground. Pressing his fingers to the man's neck, he sighed with relief.
You sure clapping him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tulliver. Huh.
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver. Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation,
Suspicious.
it was decided.
They'd run the classic good cop. Chill, hard cop. Chill cop interrogation. I mean, I feel like that would be good as well. Hard cop interrogation. I guess I would go with the hard cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop.
I don't have the word
interrogation.
bad though, so I probably need that word.
Rollo brandished a steely gaze. I've got this. Read about it 100 times.
I'll see if that works.
Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, Mr. Tulliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tulliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tulliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now hold on, let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or... Well, let's just say I never needed another one.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
Oh, you tied me down. How on earth could I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Spill the beans. What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. To make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran. Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good lord!
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's
His voice faded to a whisper.
The town, where it all began. What is Operation Sparkplug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold.
Uh-oh. Well.
Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? It's where the town began? We need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any further. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? It just got set up for the festival? Nah, that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? The library. If there's any information about this source thing, Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. Alright, let's talk to Kato. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we worked hard on it. Aren't you a little too adorable to be a librarian? Oh, I learned a new word. Oh, Kato hung out so much here. Eventually I gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Miss Novak sometimes. They got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. What more could a person want? Fair enough. What can I do for y'all? We need a favor. I already told you and Rillo. I can't put anyone any higher on the wait list for the next Hank and Thomas. If you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we're looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? That's the thing, we sort of don't know. What do you got on the history of the town? There's the country road records. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspapers, clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. But they do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
If I have to read any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. I have to keep digging. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of those. I'm not sure how to say that word. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
Got a better idea. Spit it out. You sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. It won't be a boring country record that kills you. I'll put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
You're a country record. Really? That's the best you got? I'm done with you. You'll be the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford. I'd love to see you try. Hey. We're a little tired. Let's take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was that name, Beck? In the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookfield Tribune, 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my grand's name. Juniper Hartford. Oh? Maybe there were two J. Hartfords? Mrs. Hartford survived by a young daughter, E. Hartford. Her mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. If your grand is 6 feet under, 3 towns over, then who am I living with? Oh, so this person I'm living with is not my
The
granny.
question hung in the air.
Interesting. Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh, crap. Papa's gonna kill me. I gotta go. Now my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What do you know about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something. So who is this person I live with?
Luca's heart was
It's not my
pounding as he
grandmother,
approached
that's
the house.
for sure.
If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement.
I wonder if I get my onion nugget this time.
Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering.
Okay. Oh, why did the music get all eerie?
He held perfectly still,
Oh.
tempering his breath, and listened closely.
Who is this woman
She was
in my
asleep.
house?
His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
This is getting creepy. Oh, he's gone. Uh-oh. That's not good. Oh, no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from the building, and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can pick this up. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
I'm afraid you're jammed in the wiggly.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
It's an uncool. Okay, now I can think. Well, Gran knew we tied up Mr. Tolliver on screw. She doesn't know that I need to play it cool. Guess the only option is go to bed and act as if nothing is wrong. Gran will think Mr. Tolliver finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Alright, well hopefully Gran didn't wake up all of his downtime. Be quiet. Oh no. She's gone as well. Gran? Okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed and play cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened.
Oh, that jam had...
His stride began to falter.
That jam had something in it, didn't it?
He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground.
Uh-oh.
Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
Well, I went to sleep. Sweet boy. What did you get yourself into? Rest now and let me handle everything. Oh, well, she put me in bed, at least.
Chapter 9.
Wow, this is the first I've ever forgotten.
A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed? Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival. I just want to check if there's anything else here. No. Okay. It's still gone. Okay. Where have you been? Gonna put something in the jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. This one intended for Mr. Nuncreed. Put me to sleep. Whoa, ho, ho. Fly, devil. Sly. I think she's trying to move him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? We looked around but haven't seen anything odd. Gran is nowhere to be found. But Mr. Nuncreed is just loafing around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone is gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor. I suppose you already know that. Oh yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. The town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could, with a round of applause, befitting such a great man. Even that's more than the old collar deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Ah, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be ashamed to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Oh goodness. Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Hearts. Pretty much like an ad for their company. For us, these are the pillars of the bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It is inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which would change my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
From the second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place had held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It was change that helped me recognize the potential of this place. To see that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate was made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community, first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. A conviction that's a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. That festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand in the future we will share together. And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I'm tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. Whoa. Uh-oh. Looks like the ice is going to take over again.
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone, remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Through all my travels, I have learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We all have planted a lot of good in this town. And so, it is with a happy heart that I can proclaim.
He raised his hands up to the heavens.
Here comes the ice again. Our harvest awaits. Alright.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end. There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again. No, I don't mean that. We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Okay, so I need to figure out what's going on in that cave or something, in that building before the ice comes. Okay, so I've done all options there. I've done that option. I haven't done this one yet. I've done that one. Okay, we're going to try the bright branch and see how it goes. Who does mind race keeps coming? What do you think? There's a hope. Iggy wiped his cheeks with his sleeve. What are you going to do? Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option he had left. Light! Let's see what
Luca
this
drew
leads
himself
to.
up and decided to take the only option they had left. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
Wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Kerr. We would love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See ya, jerks. Fine, we know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
Where are we? That was actually badass. I think we lost it. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. Then what's up with the winter wonderland? All I know is there's no way back the way we came. Let's hope we can get our bearings. Follow me. Interesting.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
A manhole cover? If it is it. I've never seen one like it. You know, I'm wondering if his mom got frozen since she's been missing, or she's involved with this. Like, I don't know, an experiment, but this looks kind of familiar. Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
It's that bozo cur. I hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
It seems like the only one in danger of seeing in the woods is you. Speaks the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of knowing your father, but your mom sure was a hand.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
We gotta keep moving. Not this way. No. I just go back? Doesn't look like there's anything here. Aw, that looks like tire tracks. What's the readout? Sitting just above 258 Kelvin. That's down a bit from last time. Should report this to Mr. Kerr. Meh, still within safe ranges. It may be spreading, but it's under control for now. Even a small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. Just a few more sites to hit before we can punch out. Let's get this over with. What's all this? Hard to say with all this snow. I think it's a town sign. I can almost make out letters underneath. Town could this even be? There can be another town this deep in Weep Wood. I'm looking at evidence to the contrary. Let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do. So I'm gonna have to. I don't think I can get the sign right now. So it looks like I have to go. In situations such as these, I find it best to check stuff first and ask questions. Okay, so I have to find out how to grab something here. Oh. I knew it. It's Beacon Pines.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
What? Oh, it's... This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How is that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? I guess we got turned around. Where'd all the snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal. That's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic telescope. The puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. They all have at least to one source. You think it's related? What the hell's going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. Back at
The fencing glistened, each chain link encapsulated with a translucent layer of ice.
looks like the stuff they put around wheat. The stuff put up. I don't know. This is like toxic waste. This stuff looks familiar to you? It looks like the barrel near the puddle. I shoved me into it, yeah. Well, we didn't know it was, well, toxic. It's up, frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here happened fast. The fish didn't have time to run. Or, swim around. I see, nothing over here.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all of this. We have to keep looking. You can look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You just don't get it, do you? This isn't one of your pathetic Hank Atomic series. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed, and everyone we've ever known is gone. We don't know that. We can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay. Alright.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
Aww. It's getting pretty late. It is getting pretty late, I think. Probably not a great idea somewhere in the dark anyway.
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
Well, I kind of wish we went in the building right there. The way the snow covered up everything over. It's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those crabs. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. It's all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. Yeah, didn't, right? Of course not. A second, stop with this baloney about losing your temper. But I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. But that's exactly what you should have done. Huh? I was being a horse's ass. You were supposed to be a horse ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Gee, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Why would you go around saying cruel things trying to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
It is something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored. Sometimes I just feel empty. You wouldn't understand. You and Bro were always having had blasts together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse mission control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Aww. Perfect little Luca Van Horn. With his perfect little life. My life is not perfect. Women in town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even pepped in. She already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. She ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know.
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Oh, it must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
We should probably try to get some sleep. Let's lay low for now. Or we'll get to the bottom of all this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah. Always did want to see the inside your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give it a full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
When it comes to worst days of my entire life, this one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aww, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you?
What?
Luca snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this.
Involved in what?
She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise.
What was his dad doing?
With a wink and a grin, He put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun.
I'm very curious now.
A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall.
Who's this?
It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
Just what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You two certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. We were asleep minding our own business. We're the ones running around knocking people's heads. I'm sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. You think you're better than me. You.
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
Big-headed, scarfy-necked furball. Okay, let's lower temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's just all calm down. Who are you? A friend. An observer. A hitchhiker on the infinite and expansive possibility. Great. How about it? If you must call me something, you can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait, you live here? You might say that. So you know where we are? You might also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gotta help us or not. Before knowing how to leave, one must know where they are. Alright, that does it. Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here, one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough with the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood? Or teleported to some alternative universe? Or saw some crooks burned by Kerr and his goons. But this is not our home. We're inching closer to the truth. Alas, reality is much less fanciful. Just give it to us straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original, true Beacon Pines. Huh. So, the one we're living in is not the real Beacon Pines. You both grew up here. That the town you called your home for the past several years is a replica. A remarkable achievement of engineering ability. But a replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat will require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. You would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. I think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. A mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities which complete the tapestry, well, you can leave out this miraculous thing we call a brain. Has a real version discontinued. revulsion even. The brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us safe. Lukey and Iggy look around uncomfortably. Oh, the narrator didn't even speak. So you're saying that someone in an entire new town is all and no one noticed? Precisely. But why? Why is the question that cannot never be answered with certainty. The best one can do is to uncover.
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
The source. Why do you say the source like that? Why indeed?
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
It's so ridiculous. There's no way they could.
He looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
If this really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn around. Simply head west through the Weep Wood. So this is the real Beacon Pines.
Chapter 6. The Source. Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting. You've been here alone in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole his tree. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
What's this? Gotta hide. 259K. Fallout distance still good. Fallout distance. Dude, do you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. You ever think about what we did here? We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? That's the grave of someone with a family. The people who loved them will never know the truth. The truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey! Don't be such a downer, dude. You did this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Is he dancing off? Weirdo. He just set up the frame. Here, I thought I was a jerk. Those dinguses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
I thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey! Who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow crying like some pushover. Who ya helping? Hey, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Luca Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. What did I tell you before? When some jerk comes at you, acting like a horse's ass, I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Her and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off the switcheroo for a reason, right? Not mention something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever is at the source must be awfully valuable to a granny old fox. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate would happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. And if it's too big to smash...
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad. I promise. Let's do this. Locate the source. Alright. I already looked at that. It can get awful cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best you two stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rolla? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh, heavens no. Do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Ah, shucks. Now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy. Okay. So, let's see. Wait a minute. This is a remote town, and that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I, came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. Not the wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. Why do you bury it under a tree? That's the long part of the story. You and Rollo were doing chores at Rollo's chicken coop. You guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yep. I just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop? I prefer to think of it as incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should see the look on your faces. Rollo got grounded for months, which is why I need to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried him under that tree. And when I came back from later, they were gone. I figured some grown-up found them and tossed them.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. So, let's go this way. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're a little brat who's in way over his head. A hero is just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're they're a spaceman superhero. I was always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you really think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Prepare for blast off, loser. Alright, let's see. I think I just go straight ahead. Oh, the town hall. Crooked. Just like this whole stinking place. What else we got around here? Yeah, I recognize these buildings. Everything's sure to get moved. Oh. The source.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo! 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 Whoa! I didn't see why they wanted to move us out of all the town now. Why would they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source. It's a dang hole. Why do we smash a hole? Ah, great. Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Car! Where's Rollo? I was in line before. He's safe. Well, safer than you two at least. Drat, it's cold. You just had to drive me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source. They collected unrefined...
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, boys, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. Matter of the fact, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, heavens no. My role is merely to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us. You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and things are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras ready for your curtain call. We ain't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not going to be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for melodrama. It makes even a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. Uh-oh. Not right, the clipboards. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smoking? Because I have a box of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop! Let's not do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret is one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what happened after these in your precious hole? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know, I'm an exceptional liar. Bop, bop, bop. That's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. You can all head back for the night. It's been a long day. I'll handle these two from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
It's just us now, Iggy. You put that down. What? Like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
I kind of expected that. Well, let's see what happens now. Oh! Whoa!
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca.
Jeez.
Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped.
No!
His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child, what have you done? Luca, listen to me. Hold on tight and use a walkie-talkie to call them back. Now, what channel do we use? Doesn't make a damn difference, they're always listening. If you do that, the clippers will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of here is occurs out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If you let's go, we'll both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face almost makes it worth it. Mr. Kerr, you one life. Why don't you actually do something selfless? Like
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
long life? I'll have you know, I can still play 25. Should have heard you sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Rum dum dum. Rumpity dum dum. Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Kerr, just let go. No can do. You want to save your friend, you have to save me too. You'll have to save me too. Luca, look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You're not going to kill your friend like that, are you? Oh man, Iggy, actually, I don't want you to let go, man, please.
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Nah, I'm just no good bully. Like you, Kerr. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what we need to do with bullies. I can't. It's your only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. It makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in pairs.
A calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once. Oh. Luca had no choice but to. What do I have for options? Oh. I don't want to let him go. I know he's a bully. I can't. I refuse.
Luca had no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket.
I can't let go.
A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end.
Okay.
I think this was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
I know, it's just so hard. Ugh. Okay, let's try that again. Have to accept.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request.
I didn't want to.
With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good. Oh.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Oh. My goodness. Hello, goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. Ah, but of course, as far as Iggy's meant just been the right amount of energy. We should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. My friend's sacrifice just leaves this town. For a little while, anyway. Huh. Tempest Liquami is a peculiar substance. It can change a relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, that energy can only come from its surroundings. A useless side product property being, by adding precisely that correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks make the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, the fireworks weren't strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. I shudder to think what would happen in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
And it'll take a good while to safely break and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been in my way. Each one of us has a role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy his precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world. How am I going to save it?
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
Oh?
Revenge served cold. Second time's a charm? Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy.
Well, me too.
No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking that. Okay, so that bit I finished. Okay, so I did all of these. So this is the one I haven't done. Chill and Sly. Okay, Sly or Chill Cop? We're gonna go with Sly.
They'd run the classic good cop, sly cop interrogation. Luca and Rollo ducked behind a barrel, leaving Beck to her task. With a few crisp snaps, she roused Mr. Tolliver.
Oh, what's going on here? You're that Modewell girl. Please call me Beck. Sorry about all this.
Mr. Tolliver looked down and shifted a bit, testing his restraints.
It seems there's been a mix-up. You see, I'm down here for the same reason you are. Juniper sent you here.
Beck caught herself before letting the surprise manifest on her face. She'd already gotten him to reveal his relation to Gran. This was gonna be easy.
You know how Juniper is with her precautions. Operation Sparkles has us all on edge. I guess she thought you needed some backup. But she sent a child? What better way to avoid prying eyes? You would suspect a kid. I suppose that makes sense.
Mr. Tolliver wriggled a bit in his restraints.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Beck quickly removed the ropes.
That has to be more comfortable. A little, yeah. But you understand. You never know who to trust in this town.
Mr. Tolliver rubbed the growing knot on his forehead.
Very true. It turns out we're both here too.
Beck twirled her hand, as if to prompt Mr. Tolliver to finish her thought.
Destroy the evidence.
Beck shook her head and clicked her tongue.
Yes, the old guy was nothing if not thorough.
Mr. Tolliver let out an amused huff in agreement.
He sure is. Can't blame her though. We want to find out that we're going to destroy the source. But we both know how bad that might be. No one will know anything once I finish cleaning things up down here.
Beck was on a roll now, playing Mr. Tolliver like a fiddle.
Sure, you can finish this on your own? Juniper trusted me for a reason. You can leave the rest to me. Good. There's one more loose end. I'll go and work on loose end. Oh, it's nothing really. The other day I had the Radion scam while restocking a candy shop. But what do you know if I intercepted an odd phrase in the perennial harvest transmission? Underground secrets. That's ominous. I think it might be a password, but Juniper dismissed it. Said it wasn't mission critical. What's the password for? We don't know. We have a password and nowhere to put it. It's gotta mean something, right? Good thinking. You should probably go work on that out. I got this under control. That's a relief. Between you and me, this basement gives me the willies.
Heading for the stairs, Mr. Tolliver hesitated and turned to Beck with a puzzled look. She grinned and gave him a peppy wave. With a shrug, he continued up the stairs, whistling a jaunty tune.
Good. guys catch that? Sure did. This whole time Mr. Tulliver's had a candy shop. But all he ever sells us is apples.
Beck blinked slowly in disappointment.
Oh, Rolo. The password, Rolo. Well, sure, but once things are back to normal, I'll be having a word with Mr. Tulliver about that candy shop. Probably like a secret thing. Fine. In the meantime, I got an idea.
She turned to the table and began tearing small scraps of paper.
He said he heard a password on the radio. Any good spy transmission is never what it seems.
Beck marked each scrap of paper and leaned back.
I just need to find the hidden meaning. Okay. What's another word for underground? Buried, covered. Could it be a cover-up? Maybe it's one of those each letter is a number thingies. So U would be 21. N would be 14. D would be... Oh, it's an anagram. Nuncre's drugstore.
Luca and Beck looked at Rolo with amazement.
Wow. Rolo, that was incredible. Well, it's either that or Cred's new drugstore. Yeah, I think you were right the first time. How did you do that? What can I say? I love ciphers. Well, I guess we know where to go next. Investigate Nuncre's drugstore. Alright. Oh. Hi! You scared me half to death. Sorry. You kids haven't seen Mr. Tulliver around, have you? Nope. He's got me waiting around like the last slice of pie. I swear that man will be late to his own funeral. I can't do a southern accent. Oh, I guess I have to go this way then? Oh yeah, this is the way. So I always have to do this for the festival. Or else we get iced over in this freaking fake beacon town. You're late, Augustus. Sorry, sister. Was caught up with work. Work? You? I had a few more details to lock down for the festival. Oh, what do you have to report? What is this insipid town festival really about? I think...
Gus looked around nervously.
I think Mr. Crow really does want to do something good for this town. He's actually a pretty nice guy. You should spend some time with him. I didn't pull strings and installing you as mayor so that you could make friends. Your job is to help me figure out what part of preventing a harvest true intentions are this town. We have a responsibility. This is our father's town. Was. Excuse me? This was our father's town. He's gone, Eris. He isn't coming back. Father left us with nothing but problems. Mr. Kirk came here and offered to help us. We accepted that help. We didn't agree to turning Father's warehouse into a toxic dumping ground. That's just a temporary arrangement. That glow can be seen from my damn backyard. They are dumping their nasty little secrets on us. When this is all inevitably goes wrong, who do you think will be blamed?
Eris's cry hung in the air.
We have a new choice to make now, sister. This town's going to change whether we like it or not. Are we going to choose to be a part of that future? Or be forgotten in the past? It's a shame. Father named you Augustus, but you'll always just be a Gus. Good night, Eris. I'll see you at breakfast tomorrow. It's getting late, children. Yeah, well, I can't force me to go anywhere. Oh. Ow. What is this alligator? Knowledge he spat with a sneer. There exists a gulf between knowing something and being able to do a damn thing about it. I do hate it when the villain makes a good point. Alright, so... Okay, I'm just gonna move first. So it's over here. Oh, poor kid.
Solomon stood proudly at the entrance to the drugstore, holding a brown bag overflowing with black licorice.
Hey, Solomon. We're looking for Mr. Nunkey. Is he still in there? I'm afraid not. Where'd you get the candy from? Let's see. We haven't arranged.
Solomon shoveled a surprising amount of licorice into his mouth.
Sometimes it's the small pleasures in life, though we might not always have family to rely on. Licorice has never let me down. Well, I can't say licorice would be my first choice. Whatever floats your boat. You can tell a lot about a person by their choice of confection. Oh, yeah, I guess. I like sour gobs. I certainly do. I always wonder why Mr. Nunkey kept licorice in stock. He must eat enough of it to make it worthwhile. There are many ways to earn loyalty. For some, it's as easy as cold, hard cash. Okay, so we gotta get in that drugstore. Well, he's right, it's locked. There's gotta be more clues. Okay, let's see. Something around here. Have you seen anyone actually use this thing? Besides Mr. Nunkey? No.
Beck cupped her hands on the glass to peek inside.
This is not normal. That is not a normal phone booth. It's got like a blinky keypad. Why would there be a blinky keypad? Correct nude bugs? I mean, underground secrets. Password.
Beck flung open the door and they all squeezed in.
Alright, let's see.
Luca cracked his knuckles and entered the letters into the keypad.
Underground secrets. Sounds like that did something. Great. Now what? I guess we... Oh!
The inside of the phone booth dropped loose from its shell. Without even the space to panic, they closed their eyes, held their breath, and accepted their fate. Suddenly, the chaotic descent slowed to an effortless landing. It was unclear where they ended up, but at least it was solid ground. The air was stagnant and smelled vaguely of chlorine.
Huh. Those tunnels better not be going separately. I knew there was a secret. Thought there was a secret hub full of strange tubes under the phone booth? Of course I did. Didn't I say that? No. Definitely thought it. Luca, do you remember when I said how cool it would be if the trans-dimensional conduits from Hank Atomic Issue 12 were real? Rello, at one point or another, you said about every technology ever discussed in Hank Atomic. That's why I'm such a good predictor. It looks like each one of these has something written on them. I gotta say, this music's pretty good. Oh, I have to check it. What's over here, though? I'm curious. Oh, let me check that. What about... Ooh, a suit. A broken one. This suit has a broken mask. So have we found a mysterious warehouse creep? At least we found their hazmat suit. If it walks like Nunkey, talks like Nunkey. Let's not jump to conclusions. Just saying. Alright, let's read what these say. Mining Operations Alpha. You guys have mines here? Not that I know of. The town is all farms and fertilizer, and a series of tubes. Hot Boy says you can trust a miner up to a point when they hit gold. Not sure how that would applies in this exact situation. That's the thing about Pa, you don't realize what he means until it's too late. Perennial Harvest Main Office. Oh, that's where my mom works. What does she do? Science stuff. Is she involved in all of this? We just moved here. How could she be involved? True. Valentine Fertilizer Warehouse. Oh, yes. Isn't this where you almost got snatched? Yeah. Why would Perennial Harvest have a tube going to the Valentine place? That is starting to feel like something big. Alright, let's see. That's a lot of buttons. Shouldn't assign Earthlings. I read enough Hank Atomic to know my way around. sci-fi tech.
Rollo's hands hovered over the field of blinking buttons.
Eeny, meeny, miny. A lot blows it out there. Rollo, what did you do? Nothing. I didn't even mow yet. What was that? Hide. Where? There's nothing but weird tubes down here. Just get back. Shit. Awesome. You all need to come with me now. We aren't going anywhere with you. Not until we get some answers. Mr. Underground's secrets. I told them it was an absurd password. But they love anything that makes them feel clever. They who? That's no matter. If I can keep you hidden until after the festival, I might be able to save your skins. We don't care about our skins. Hold on now. I like my skin. That's all stops now and then. It's not him.
Joseph waited for a moment in silence.
You sound just like him. Who? Walt. You don't gotta talk about my dad. You know your father and I were friends back before.
He gestured toward the strange tubes.
All of this. That's a lie. It's true. I used to bounce you on my knee. What happened? Same thing that always happens. Reality, complications, life. We were a team, Walt and I. An idealistic doctor and a bright-eyed pharmacist. Both hell-bent on helping folks. So you were a sidekick? No. We were partners. He helped the patients and I helped him. Yep, total sidekick.
Nuncreed let out a growl of a sigh.
Luca, I need you to know this. I need someone to know this. One day, Sharper Valentine came to us. Says he got an opportunity. He found something he didn't quite understand. And he was willing to pay both handsomely to help pay us both handsomely to help him understand. And my dad said no. Your father and I both believed in helping people. But the thing I could never get him to understand was it's a lot easier to help others if you help yourself now and then. Classic sidekick into villain plotline. Walt loved being righteous, almost more than he loved his family. He was wrong about one thing. When he begged me not to take Valentine's offer, he said, Joseph, if a person says yes one time to Sharper Valentine, make sure they keep on saying yes to him until the day he's dead and gone.
He shook his head wistfully.
Sharper's long gone, but he still got me saying yes. Is there a point to this sob story? Not really, no. Just an old man trying to delay what needs doing.
Nuncreed took a menacing step towards the children.
I tried to keep you safe. I tried to keep you and Juniper out of this. But you pushed my hand.
Luca began to laugh.
What? You really don't know. My gran isn't out of this. She's been scheming right under your nose. Juniper? Seems like she's planning on crashing town's party. She's going to disrupt the festival? Why would she?
The color drained from Nuncreed's face.
Or does she know? Apparently she knows a lot of things. What? Let's just say this isn't the only underground lair we busted into today. Honestly, hers is way cooler. She's got maps and explosives and bad intentions, big man.
Nuncreed grabbed Luca by the shoulders.
Jeez.
His eyes were frantic.
You need to tell me what she's going to do right now. She doesn't understand what it is she's messing with. Hey, tell me now. She is in danger, boy. I don't know. She has a map of the mark on the fountain in town square. The fountain, but why would...
A jolt of realization struck Mr. Nuncreed.
She knows about the source. That is the source. If she tries to destroy the source, it could catalyze it. Dear God, she's going to freeze us all. You all need to run. Run where? Away. Far away from this town as you can get. Head west and don't look back. That did not go how I expected. So, we're totally following them, right? Oh, see you on the other side. You good? Yep. I love this town.
Chapter 8. The Cold, Hard Truth. Beck leapt up, allowing the suction to yank her into the dark. Dimness eclipsed around her like the shutter of a camera as she seemed to cover great distance in mere moments. Her only points of reference were glints of upcoming turns, which approached with frightening speed, only to carom her gracefully along. She heard the tinny, distant echoes of Rollo's glee. Once she stopped fighting against it, the ride was impossibly smooth. Then, all of a sudden, as if minutes had passed in an instant, light blazed into view.
Now we're actually in Beacon Pines.
A burst of wintry air snuffed across her face, and she was flung out into the cold.
So that's what the entrance is for. Whoop. That was intense? Yeah. I think I might have parted with some fluids in there. Any idea where we are? Somewhere cold. Doesn't look like gotten any of us. Doesn't feel like we traveled that far. But where did it all go? This place sucks. Why didn't anyone ever want to blow something up out here? Only one way to find out, I suppose. We got Egyptian. I think he went this way. Alright, well then I'm gonna let me go. This looks familiar, yeah. Maybe we can clear it up with the snow. Sorry, no keep sitting on. Not gonna let me. Oh, it's starting to feel really good. I may not be the most well versed on things Beacon Pines, but this does look like some sort of closer replica of town. Ah, I got it. It's so obvious now. Mr. Duncreed and his alien. Rollo. Stick with me here. This species can only live in sub-zero temperatures. Oh boy, here we go. The source is their base camp dimension, so naturally they kept it cold. Keep it cold. We found it by traveling through metallic wormholes back there. The final objective: kill us all and shapeshift into Beacon Pines citizens of their choosing. You never really had me, but you very much lost me there. You'll get used to it. We should keep moving. Okay, roll on the blood. Alright, let's go ahead. Roll me that again.
As they rounded the corner to the frozen town square,
Graham.
they spotted Mr. Nuncreed inching cautiously toward a pit at its center. He held his arms out gingerly, as if approaching a
Don't do it,
beast
Gran.
in the wild.
It's gonna kill the whole town.
Upon closing the distance, Luca recognized what Nuncreed was after. Gran stood confidently at the edge, one arm outstretched over the abyss. Nearby, a wheelbarrow had been emptied out. She held a lit torch, which flickered in the bitter wind.
Juniper, I don't know what you think you're doing, but I assure you, this is not going to solve anything. If you drop that, you doom this whole town. Oh, it wasn't me who doomed this town. I've been watching you, Joseph. I know what you've done. You and your co-conspirators. Gran? What's happening? Luca, you and your friends need to leave right this moment.
Mr. Nuncreed turned back toward the kids, desperation in his eyes.
Listen to your grandma, Luca. Between me and June.
Rollo and Beck held steadfast in awe. Luca approached closer. Mr. Nuncreed spun back toward Gran, his voice growing louder.
You got it all wrong, Juniper. Just hand over that torch. You don't understand what you're doing. How can I possibly trust you to do the right thing? Wait, told me everything. I trusted you. You betrayed that trust. Luca, did you know that this man's entire life is a lie? And one for him, your father might still be alive.
Mr. Nuncreed winced with anguish. His voice hardened.
That's not true.
They both now yelled, not to each other, but at fate itself, making their peace with long-held burdens. The wind howled with encouragement.
What was like a brother to you? You just had different ideas about how to affect change. Very convenient that your wedges happen to lie in your pockets. Now that's not fair.
They menaced at each other, both catching their breath. The moment balanced on a knife's edge.
You gotta stop her.
Amid a blur of emotions and memories, Luca's mind flooded with questions. The wind calmed, as if to give him the stage.
And in the stillness, he began to weep. I kind of want to go with weeping, but I want to go with hum first. I want to go with weeping first.
And in the stillness, he began to weep. It was all just too much. Falling to his knees, Luca whimpered softly. The tears crystallized as they hit the snow. Gran stared at Luca for a moment with warm sympathy, remembering why this was all necessary.
This all makes sense to you. Then everything could question me. Okay, I already messed it up.
She stiffened up and brandished the torch at Mr. Nuncreed.
You can't hide behind those people any longer, Joseph. Once their precious source is destroyed, we'll see where their loyalties fall. Juniper, don't.
Ignoring his final plea, Gran flung the torch into the deep darkness.
Freezes over. Well, I have to reset after this.
She smiled and exhaled in relief. Mr. Nuncreed moaned in resignation. The torch echoed as it ricocheted down the hole, punctuated with a thunderous thud.
We're all gonna freeze right now. You'll see, Joseph, I learned one very important lesson in life. If you want things to change, then you must be willing to.
Before Gran could finish, the ground shook her to silence.
Oh, wow.
Gran only had time to spin around and run to Luca, her attempt to shield him, an honorable but trifling act. Unflinching love, pitted against an unthinking horror. There was no contest. Her warm embrace froze in an instant. That is where they remain, fixed in place, forever. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits the frozen statues of a misguided band of meddlers. The end. Well, that was dire. On the bright side, we finally figured out where all the ice is coming from. Now, we just need to find a way to deal with a mystic, unfathomable force of nature. And in the stillness, he began to hum. After the death of his father, Luca had trouble sleeping. Each night, his mother would sit at the foot of his bed and hum a gentle melody. It was the only thing that could calm his mind. The only thing that, however briefly, could make it all seem okay. That melody pervaded every memory Luca had of his mother. Shivering in the raw snow, he began to hum it out loud. Gran lowered the torch, listening closely. As recognition slowly set in, her heart sank. Those countless nights of consolation, the incomparable loss they shared together. She let the torch fall to the snow and sizzle out. A few steps toward Luca was all she could bear before dropping to the snow herself. Through a flood of tears, she began to hum along, note for note.
humming it too. Spacebar to go.
Luca lifted his head in
I thought it was just a
astonishment.
cutscene.
The last time he heard that melody was the last night he saw his mother.
How do you know? I'm so sorry, my little buckaroo. Is that my mom? Buckaroo. The only people coming out right now. Oh my gosh, is that my mom?
Luca blinked through blurry, watery eyes, trying to see more
It's
clearly.
Eleanor.
He could just
What?
make out the impression of a familiar face. He peered across the snowscape at the woman on her knees. Something about her was undeniably his mother. Only smaller, older, changed.
What? Wait, what? That's his
Luca
mom?
sprinted as fast as he could toward his mother. They held each other close, and the cold
Wait, why is
retreated
she-
from their bodies.
Eleanor? Thought you were gone. Should have known I would never have been to this.
Eleanor looked down at Luca, tightening her embrace in
Wait,
an
why
appeal
is she
for
older
forgiveness.
Oh, you're a smart man, Joseph. Thought you'd piece it together by now. You were exposed. Oh, I don't understand any of this. What happened to you? Where did you go? Why did you leave me? I never left you. I was always right here, Luca. Why did you lie to me? It tore me up, Luca, but I did it to keep you safe. I like getting answers to help us both move on. The more I discovered, the more I realized the danger we were in. I know perennial harvest was stopped. It was better if every thought I was gone. Could have trusted me. These are bad people. They won't stop until they get what they want. They don't care who gets hurt in the process. What do we do? You have to stop them.
Joseph slumped into the cold, wet snow.
They can't be stopped. This is too big. I tried beating them at their own game. I'm done fighting fire with fire.
For the first time in a long time, her voice felt like her own again.
No more lies. I see now there's a better way to stop perennial harvest. The cold, hard truth.
Luca gazed down at Nuncreed with pity. He looked small. Joseph stared into the snow, as if searching it for answers.
Come on, everyone. We got a party to crash. Oh, well, at least the town won't be frozen over. Don't understand. He always wins.
Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago, Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest.
Oh.
She stopped in front of the large
Interesting.
steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant. It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempest Liquamen. There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time.
I wonder if I get to see what she looks like originally.
Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
And that is what all change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled to think that we were making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret and perennial harvest just to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. They just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated. Mrs. Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you too. You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please. I was gonna get all the clipboards. Don't you all see this festival is a sham? An excuse to have the whole town gathered in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just as sneaky as the Dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry about this disruption. My solstice will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is, that's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreek.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreek's face.
Uh-oh. I staying silent. Yes, sir. Oh! He always says yes to everything. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. The tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Who is this boy? I believe that's burrowed in where it does belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Wait a second. Consider yourself in rare company. You managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. But alas, it's something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Huh? Mr. Kerr? Yes, sir. The shame was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir, of course, sir. You have done quality work and we can look forward to the recompense.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Commander, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Faithfully, we can dismiss the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can all call me. Oh.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
What?
A hushed horror gripped the crowd.
Oh.
This is a story about change.
Interesting. What? No. So you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. Festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness our glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. It would help reset the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Oh, great. Ha! Oh, wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. Malice. I've got your back, so I can tell you to your face. You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. Sorry, this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr.
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
You coward. Does anyone else have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Do you truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools. You people should be celebrating my return. You clearly lost without me. And that means you nicely to my children. Daddy? Whoa. I gave you both the greatest gift a parent could give. The opportunity to prove yourselves in my absence. Squandered. Say I'm disappointed would be an understatement. But silence, Augustus, an adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who's completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential invalidity lets me down. Eris, you failed me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you just live forever? But what about... It's alright, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where's Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. People deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because you left me no choice. You always had choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter, cheer up. You're about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part. Soon he'd be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. What of those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill? Beacon Pines is mine again. And I'm willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of perennial harvest? Ha! You think I puffed up blatherskate could have accomplished all of this? Damn. Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
See, I needed a figurehead to hold down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, bilk this town for a spell. So I invited William Kerr. Take your bow, you've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It truly was a role of a lifetime. Wait, so this Bill Kerr was a patsy a whole time? So that was your secret, is out in the open. What, to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious pie. Fear. Thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town most fears. And I'll make those fears mandatory for anyone who steps up. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. Ha, young hero. I kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. Things would have gone a bit differently. You might have had your moment of triumph. Well, that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have one. underestimate what a great man can do given time. And now time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I've ever bought. But well worth it.
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's get to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer.
Interesting.
The end.
Wait, that's not really just the end, right?
This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right?
Yep.
We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
Okay, so what haven't I done here? Okay, so I've done most of these except the chill one. Okay. Well, let's try to chill.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
Okay. My turn. I'll handle this. Just gotta play cool. Right,
Luca
let's see.
walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bill wrong.
He looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Alright, Mr. Tolliver. This is all a big mistake. Luca, what's going on? Why do you have me strapped down? No insult, really. Rollo just got a little startled. Rollo's here?
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Something's happened. You kids gave old Hiram a good scare. Let's just get me out of these rooms, Cully.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Just tell me, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's up my gran up to? Just cut me loose, I can show you. How do I know we can trust
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Luca, have I ever done wrong by you? No. Since your gran moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah. So why would I turn my back on your family now? It's just, all this stuff seems pretty cute. I bore with names of people from town. I got my dad's old disturbing patient notes.
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives. Just need untie. Kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rollo and Beck.
Wait, the medical files.
This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good laugh. This all makes sense in time.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as
He's running. He's running away.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch. He punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. Just keep tight down there. And let the adults handle
They
this.
looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a back to the drawing.
Well, I've done all my options, so what am I missing? One I haven't gone to. Oh, the one I haven't revisited is this one. Think about it. Okay, so I'm not gonna use strange this time. I'm gonna do tickles. Let's see. Super. You play part of this branch. Skip to where you left it.
Chapter 4. The Best Policy. Luca paused for a moment. He'd only just met Beck, and somehow, hopefully he could make it up.
Wait. No, let's just go back to the... I'm not gonna skip this bit. I do want to watch this bit. Oh, okay.
Chapter 4. The Best Policy. Luca paused for a moment. He'd only just met Beck, and hopefully he could make it up to her.
Okay, so it's different this time. Look, what the hell are you doing now? Why are they with gray hair?
Roxy and Fitz looked drained. It was clear they'd spent all day searching.
That's Beck. Look, I need to start telling me the truth.
Roxy's temper could often be dismissed as the impatience of an older sibling, but this was the most intense Luca had ever seen her. Her eyes were wild and unfocused, looking straight through Luca.
We're running out of time.
In a torrent of rambled words and tears, Luca broke down.
Mama and I went playing in the woods yesterday. Investigating lights at the old Valentine warehouse. Someone was there in the strangest way. And we hid in the dumpster and had a heavy bag drop on us. I think it was a body. So we ran, but we got split up. And I ran home. It's all my fault. Now my best friend did never come back. Whoa. Wow.
Roxy, still exhausted and angry, softened briefly as her eyes hunted the ground in thought. With a determined sigh, she looked up at Luca.
Not your fault, Luca. Well, it's gonna be okay, I promise.
Roxy drew herself up.
I'm gonna fix this. Luca, go home. But I want to help. Too dangerous for a kid. You can't just sit around and have to.
Roxy tried to think of the safest place to send Luca.
Go back to that little treehouse you like to play. Wait there in case Willow shows up. Sound like a plan?
Luca wiped his cheeks and gave a quick nod.
Did the right thing telling me the truth. Now scoot. You really believe his story? What other option do we have? Things have been strange around here leading up to the festival. My dad has been acting weird lately. Well, weirder than normal.
Looking into the puddle, Roxy rubbed her arms to warm up.
Why is it so cold here? This place gives me the willies. Right at the treehouse in case Willow shows up.
Mr. Nuncreed jumped with a start.
Oh! Whoa, don't sneak up on an old fellow like that. Sorry. Who are you talking to? What?
Luca motioned to the phone booth.
Oh no. I was just checking because I thought I heard it ring. But the dang thing never does, of course. Yeah, I never see anyone use it really. Whole thing's a waste of money if you ask me. Anyone from Rolo yet? Not yet. Long time for a boy to lose his way. Rolo knows these woods too well to get lost. I suppose you're right. Silly boy antics have this whole town for instance. Antics? We all know Rolo likes to play these little pranks. You think this is a prank? What other possible explanation? B. He's not playing a prank and he didn't get lost. Someone took him, I know it. How would you know that? Unless... Luca, is there something else that you know?
Mr. Nuncreed gently placed one of his substantial hands on Luca's shoulder.
Dang it, boy, if there's something you know, something that could help your friend, you need to tell me.
Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncreed, kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him.
Let's say shame first.
There was a shame lurking behind those eyes. A deep sadness. If Mr. Nuncreed was that worried about Rollo, maybe he could help. Mr. Nuncreed raised an eyebrow.
Both of you. You were with Rollo when he went missing. Well, exactly. I was hiding in the dumpster. The dumpster? What were you doing in there? First, we were just looking around. And someone in a strange yellow suit came and dumped something on us. Well, got scared and ran. That was the last I saw. You got served by some garbage. Well, that's why you don't go scoping someone's dumpster. It wasn't garbage. I think it was a body. Sure, it was just some trash. No, there was a name to it. It said deep engineering.
Mr. Nuncreed's shoulders slumped.
I wish you wouldn't have said that.
A deep sigh
bellowed
from his chest.
Why did you have to? I tried, God knows I tried to keep you.
Luca attempted to take a step back, but Nuncreed's hand clamped down on his shoulder.
But you red hearts just can't help yourselves, can you? We were all so close to being done with this.
With a firm shove, Nuncreed manhandled Luca into the phone booth.
What are you doing? It's out of my hands.
The door latched shut with a mechanical hiss.
Shit.
As Luca pounded the glass, the floor dropped from under his feet. The inside of the phone booth was now a loose capsule plummeting at gravity's whim. Luca winced and pressed his hands to the walls. As he braced for impact, the capsule hurried to a surprisingly smooth stop. He felt a cold rush of air and opened his eyes with hesitance. Two large figures in hazmat suits occluded his view. Luca heard the deep, resigned voice of Mr. Nuncreed over an intercom. He knows too much. The end. Wait. No, this isn't the end. I know there's still much more. Somehow this went wrong. Okay, let's try something else.
Okay, I'm getting this bent. I'm getting a bit more.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncreed's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
I just want this to all be over. Of course, I'm sure it will work out soon. I should get going. I told Roxy I checked for a
Luca twisted free of Nuncreed's grasp.
Of course. Luca, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. No, I can't. I can trust you, man. I'm out here. No. Oh. Festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I ever were to throw a festival, it would be a cool thing to behold. Okay, this is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. We ever did something special things a lot. I'm listening. Festival sign when we unveiled. It'd be a shame with
The
someone.
two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
They go. I'm kind of curious to see where they went. Probably won't let me go though. Oh, they disappeared. Alright. Let's see what the alligator has to say. He looked down and muttered in a gruff voice. Mama always told me I would promise to look smaller once I grow up. My problems always seem to grow right along with me. Heavens, I sense big trouble ahead. Identify yourself, please. Nellie DeWill. I work here now. I am unable to locate you on our staff. Oh, I don't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tomorrow to get through things. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. Whoa. You gotta... Richard, I can sneak up on a guy like that. Don't scare a man while he's drunk and sunny. Evening, Jeff. Isn't it kind of like to be drunk then? I might as well ask the same thing of you. Why do you think ever since Colonel Harris moved in, even the junk is trash. I could learn a lot about a person by looking at what they throw away. With this bunch, it's all shredded papers and coffee cups. Well, I better get going. I didn't see nothing if you didn't see nothing. See that? Exactly. I don't want to talk to you. He doesn't want to talk to me. I want to talk to the little fox. He doesn't want to be talked to either. Alright. Go to the treehouse. Hello?
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Rollo! Rollo, wherever you are, I hope you're okay.
Luca felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace.
Probably gonna turn to icy again.
Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire, the source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luca stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket, a keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. "A place where everything that has been and everything that could be." Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. "Wait? For what?" Another voice spoke out as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. "That's up to you." Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real?" Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. "Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me." Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. "And you?" The doppelganger choked back tears. "I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. Does that make sense?" Through his tears, Luca laughed. "I think so." His father pulled him in for an embrace. "Time to go, Buckaroo." Luca was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor.
Are you in there?
A commanding voice rumbled from below.
Who's that?
Just as Luca sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open.
Oh!
Chapter 5. Dangers big and small. Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight.
Uh-oh.
Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Rollo? Sheesh, I know it's dark and all, but if you could recognize it's Rollo. Who you?
The large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
So, now I'll club you with the baseball bat. Whoa, 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 take it easy. Okay, you need to get your eyes checked. See, Rollo. Nice try, but I know you aren't Rollo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Uncle? Quit messing around. It's me. If it is really, prove it. Layman chicken coop, Luca.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rollo. only bigger, older, changed.
Wow. What happened here? While I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. What? Where did he take you? Don't know. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like a swimming pool. I think it was an underground lab or something. I made my hands all big. Look.
Rollo proudly presented his hands to Luca.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower, but beggars can't be choosers. Rollo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet, too. Dang, Pa just made me new shoes. Wait, Luca, why are you so small?
Luca moved to the side and pointed Rollo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What the?
His hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo. Rollo, what did they do to you? Maybe drink some sort of green crud. Ew. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It kind of tasted like licorice. I passed out and woke up like this. And then I sort of smashed open my cage and escaped. Whoa, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage. Who are these people? I don't know who this is, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome. Well, I'm just glad you're safe now. You don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at this. Look at this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. You may have finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right, but this all seems dangerous. Danger! Ha!
Rollo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take them all on. Hey, fellas, what's up?
With a yelp, Rollo dove behind Luca.
Ah! Take cover! Did I come in a bad time? Who the heck are you? This is Beck. Sorry, something truly bizarre just happened. I needed help. I need help. I don't know where else to go. So you're just hanging out with your large adult friend? I know, this is my buddy Rollo. Is he your missing friend? One and the same. Seems a little old. I'll have you know this is a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry. You're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking questions. How did you find us? Silly little treehouse? I think you mean our silly little mission control. I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. I can hear you right from a mile away. See, Luca? This is why we need to improve security. Not now, Rollo. Becky said something bizarre, I think. Yeah.
She shot a nervous glance at Rollo.
Anyway, you can say around me. You can say around me. I think you can say around me. You can say around me. Oh, guys, I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, guys. Yep.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it started when I made it back home. My first order of business was trying to salvage my hair. So I dyed some stuff from my chemistry set my mom gave me. Okay, just need to play it cool. Hope no one notices. Notices what? Oh, nothing. I was just... come over here and let me have a look. Oh, Oh, honey, what in the world did you do to your hair? I just kind of felt like a change. It's going to take forever to grow out. You really said that change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. I guess I took your lesson to heart.
Ilona tried to put on a smile.
Before I forget, I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go into work. Tonight? Her and Mr. Kerr decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Kerr guy seems like a grade A creep. Back! He is. Him and his weird cult of personality. We're not going to ruin this job for Nellie. It means too much to her. Oh, I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough for her to exile her daughter's podunk town. This place sucks. People are weird. Just don't know them yet. It's always cold. In the mountains, you'll get used to it. I can't even pick up a single decent station on the radio. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come and see what we can do about fixing her hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another peep.
She sighed, and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
It doesn't mean you have to move home yourself and miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. Oh, maybe decided to rebel by dyeing your hair more?
She flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just have to shave it off for you. Think of how rebellious you look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, this town doesn't outside. Second, you need help because you got grounded. No. I'm sorry you got in trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kind of like this look. Great. Can we go back to the story now? The next part is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded my mom and is too angry to sleep. But I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Okay, Mr. Kerr, are you there? Mr. Kerr? Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies, I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. 1 moment. Hello, sir. It's nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our new lead researcher of deep engineering? Nellie Moodwill seems to be integrating nicely. At this very moment, she's working to help us meet our deadline. She offered to work overtime, or I even had a chance to suggest it. Excellent. We have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor. The work must be complete before the festival. And make sure she stays days and night until it's accomplished. Good, you know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she finishes the work, you need to make a determination regarding long-term prospects in the company. Immediately, sir? We should have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the endgame, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, I can't afford to take any risks. Of course, sir. No loose ends, sir. Once she finishes the work, she will leave the office completely committed to perennial harvest, or she won't miss it all. Perfect. So if I may suggest, maybe we should delay just for a bit. Oh, it's just we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline. And rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand I just want what's best for you. I'm eternally grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear. I brought you into this thing. I brought you in to make things run smoother. Not to have opinions. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. We're only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Whoa. Yeah. The sources are clear. When they said loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like actually killing someone? Capital murder.
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this sounding? I was hoping you guys would know. Nah, it's from his occurs the top banana at perennial harvest. He sounds scared of his founder guy. So we even have a topper banana on the field. What the hell is my mom caught up in? Has she talked much about this job? Has she talked about this job much? Not really. She said she was going to come in and continue the work of someone she respected. But do you think a body at the firehouse was the person Beck's mom came to replace? That would make sense. Beck. It seems like Nellie's predecessor got, loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. Okay, so we need to get your mom out of before the festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? The creep on the radio said they were going to hold her there until then. If she's not coming out, we gotta go in and get her.
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this'll help. You have blueprints? I was just really a welcome map from my mom's PH orientation day. But it shows the layout. Sure looks like blueprints to me. Looks, here's the reception area. There's a big room marked Founder's Office. Even has the exit marks. Guys, we have a deadline. We have an objective. We have blueprints. You realize what this is, right?
Rollo started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're heisting. This is officially a heist.
Chapter 6. The Heist. They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest. It would be no small feat. A modern facility equipped with all manner of technology. Not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement. This could just work. The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread. Even enlist some unsavory characters around town with important tasks only they were suited for. Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be found at a bargain. Luca, Beck, and Rollo rubbed their eyes as they exited the treehouse. They hadn't slept at all that night. There was no time. The festival was to begin in 1 day, and they each had their assignments.
Alright, quick recap. Rollo, you're gonna talk to Roxy. Cordially. Without her in fits, this whole thing could go bust. Cordial is my middle name. How do you plan explaining the...
He waved vaguely at Rollo's sizable figure.
Circumstance. She'll be happy if I'm alive. She'll even notice.
Beck snorted an involuntary giggle.
And Beck, you're sure alone will just shoot this whole thing down when she hears it. She'll listen. Once she understands the danger Nellie's in, that we're all in. The plan will make sense. Okay. I was doing Jeff and Iggy. How are you gonna persuade them? I'll think of something.
They each looked at each other with sleepy confidence and nodded.
Well, Godspeed. Okay. Alright, guys, I think we're gonna end it here. Just gonna change the... Alright, guys, well, thank you for watching my stream, and I hope you have a good night.